Hey guys, Mika here, and I'm bringing you a beautiful, beautiful custom cornerstone tenor size ukulele. Now, on this ukulele, we have a sinker cedar, and I think this might be one of the first times I've ever played a cedar top or an ukulele with a cedar top it's a sinker cedar. Basically, the wood was found at the bottom of like a lake. It was sitting there and it was absorbing all of those good minerals, nutrients from the water, and then one day we just salvaged it, and then bam, we turned it into a beautiful looking ukulele. So cedar sinker wood on the top, and then on the back and sides we have pretty amazing Brazilian kingwood. This thing is exotic as it can get, and the colors of this, hopefully the camera does it justice, but this thing just pops with colors, and it's so vibrant. Even if it's just like a brown, it almost has like a purple hue, like a brown and purple hue, with the color, and then the nice sapwood in the middle. Man, this thing really jumps off the instrument. It's breathtaking to look at. It's a really nice piece of wood. So we have that on the back and sides. We have the binding with ebony wood here on the front or on the top and the back. And then here around the entire instrument and around the rosette, we have really nice abalone shell. And then we have this nice kind of red, like a darker, like a crimson red recon stone with the rosette. Typical Cornerstone sound hole. We have Brazilian rosewood bridge right here with a satin finish, so nice and smooth. And then we have a ebony fretboard with also the abalone purfling that lines around the outside or outer edges of the fretboard, and then even wrapping around the headstock. And then typical of a Cornerstone ukulele, we have this half sail. So half of the sail is the ebony, and then the other half is a beautiful orange brown colored koa. And we have one of my favorite colors, teal recon stone here with the Cornerstone logo. And then here on the back, we have Gold Amber tuners. Really nice contrast with all of the different colors, the black, the orange, and then the brown with the koa. And then we have like a ebony back faceplate right here. So it contrasts really nicely with this gloss mahogany neck, darker mahogany neck right here. And a really small detail that I noticed when I picked up this ukulele and I was playing it is that there's a nice little dark blue purfling line that wraps around the headstock here on the back right here, and then even on this side. It's a really nice detail. I love how Peter really pays so much attention to all of his instruments. It just really shows. And then again, another typical Cornerstone feature is his three sound port or three hole sound port right here on the side. So when I'm playing, you can go ahead and have an accurate representation of what the instrument is like projecting its sound forward. You can also hear that really accurately with this side port. We also have this nice little arm bevel. So when you go ahead and playing your instrument, it's really nice to relax. There's no sharp corners, so it's not going to feel a little comfortable. You're not going to have any arm marks after you play for 3 hours, because why wouldn't you want to play this instrument for 3 hours? It sounds absolutely amazing, and I'm going to get right into that very soon. And then I think the last detail that I want to point out is, hopefully the camera can pick it up, that we have nice little beautiful flower, like I guess like plumera, or I'm just gonna say flower, but recon sunflowers here. It's more like a brown red kind of recon sunflower here on this end graph. But yeah, absolutely stunningly beautiful instrument. And I just want to give a shout out to Peter Morelos, the luthier of this beautiful instrument. He has a Facebook and an Instagram, and I follow him. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I follow him on my Instagram. And what I really like is that he posts update photos on all of the ukuleles that he's building. So sometimes he'll just post like pictures of the body by itself. It's not finished, but he just put it together. Sometimes he'll be like, oh, I just added purfling or the abalone. He'll post pictures of just like the headstock by itself or with the neck, and just kind of seeing like small step-by-step process of how all his instruments come to life, from just the body and then the neck, and then he puts it together. Then I'm gonna spray it, so there's before and after pictures. So just being able to have the luxury of seeing the work process of a Cornerstone ukulele, it's really special, and I always enjoy seeing those pictures and those updates from Peter on his social media pages. So go ahead and give him a follow on Instagram or befriend him on Facebook, and you can kind of see all of the magic in his workplace, and just you can kind of follow the journey of his instruments. But going and transitioning into the sound of this instrument, again, like all cornerstones, they're top of the cream of the crop instruments. They're so warm. It has such a mature sound. There's so much resonance. There's so much depth and body. So when you think of a sound spectrum, there's gonna, you can think of it like this. You're gonna have a lot on one side. You're gonna have a lot of low ends, a lot of depth, a lot of body, a lot of oomph to the sound, and then you get more to the mids, which this is kind of where the warmth happens of the instrument. And then when you come to this side, you're gonna get a lot of the trebles, the highs, the articulation of the instrument. And Peter does an excellent job of capturing pretty much every one of those little checkpoints in the sound spectrum. So when I play like the simple C chord, there's just so much depth right off the bat and oomph to the sound. But then it sounds so warm at the same time. But then when I'm plucking, like let's say on the A string, it's so articulate. You can hear every single note so clearly, even when you're up here on the higher frets. That's, to me, that's what makes a really well balanced instrument. It's when you can kind of check all of those little checkpoints on the sound spectrum. How a lot of nice good lows balanced with nice warmth, good resonance. So when you strum a chord like this, you can hear how it takes a long time for the sound to finally decay into silence, right? So that's a lot of good, in the middle, and then again the highs. For me, I'm a fingerstyle player, so you can hear every single note very cleanly. So checks all the boxes. So this is an ukulele that I would love to play. I would love to look at it because it's beautiful, but then when you play it, it just sounds right, it feels right. And another thing too about Cornerstone is that I appreciate the setup of this instrument, because when you have an ukulele where the strings or the action's too high, sometimes it makes the ukulele a little harder to play, because you're gonna have to press harder to make any type of chord, even these pesky bar chords or that dreaded B flat chord or this E chord. It just makes it harder. But Peter does a great job of setting up his instrument so that it's playable right out of the case. You can go ahead and start strumming, and you start feeling good when you play these kind of chords, like, oh, I don't have to press that hard. And then I guess you're also going to be blown away by the sound of the instrument too, because it just sounds fantastic. Even up there on the 15th fret, very clear, very clean. And what I really like too about this instrument is the sustain, but also how this instrument reacts when I play like a vibrato, which is like this. When you go ahead and shake the note, you pluck a note and you shake it, you can actually hear it very obviously. You really hear the sound waves moving, and it's not like it's like that. It goes on. It takes a long time for the sound to decay. So all around, this is an excellent sounding instrument. It's an excellent, beautiful looking instrument. Really top of the line craftsmanship. Paying attention to details, and it's so clean. Such a cleanly made instrument. So here is a sound sample of me demonstrating what this instrument sounds like. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and, like usual, I'm going to go ahead and improvise and see where this instrument takes me. Okay, and here is some strumming on this instrument.